I'm Jackie Davenport from Madison, Wisconsin. I'm the Associate Athletic Director for Student Services at the university. And I am pleased to introduce today Tracy Chynoweth, who will speak on the delivery of Badger Sports Camps as he works with all 23 sports to deliver camp programming. He will talk about the 10,000 plus participants seen annually in our 250 plus camp sessions. There are many challenges to providing youth programming these days, and his office takes on those challenges to deliver safe, high-quality programming for customers. Tracy Chynoweth is the Director of Camp Administration and Youth Protection. He has worked in the athletic department in this role since 2013 and has been the only individual to fill this position since this unit was created in an attempt to centralize the operation of Badger sports camps. He graduated from the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse and obtained a master's degree from Ball State University before working at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater for 15 years as the Director of Adaptive Recreation and Athletics. He coached wheelchair basketball for many years, including stints on the coaching staffs of the USA men's and women's national teams, as well as the USA Junior National Team, and has represented the U.S. in many international competitions. Please welcome Tracy Chynoweth.
Awesome. Thanks, Jackie. Appreciate that introduction. And I always appreciate the opportunity to talk about our Badger sports camps. I tell people often that I feel like I have, maybe the best job in the world, and that I'm passionate about Wisconsin athletics. I'm passionate about the state of Wisconsin. I'm passionate about youth, working with kids, and I'm passionate about sports. I've raised my family playing different sports. I have 3 young kids that kind of play everything. So in my role in the athletic department, I feel like I get to combine all of those things, right? I feel like we have fantastic facilities. We have fantastic coaches. We have fantastic student athletes. We just have a lot of resources here for the betterment of sport. And so to be able to take the kids from the community, obviously the Madison community, but then kids from throughout the state, throughout the country, and for a lot of our programs, we get kids flying in from all over the world. So to be able to get those kids on our campus, in our facilities, learning from our coaches, enjoying all the resources that we have within the athletic department is just sort of a dream fit for me when it comes to seeing the kids develop, enjoy what they do here, provide a quality experience. And in doing so, we deliver programming across the board with all 22 or 23, I think it's 23 varsity sports programs. And the participants in those programs range in ages from 4 or 5 all the way up to, high school kids and into junior college stuff. So as we deliver these programs, there's sort of different missions and goals within each program. There's a sort of a recruiting component. We get kids that attend our programming that are looking to potentially attend the university, maybe even participate in one of our athletic programs as a collegiate student athlete. You might not be surprised to hear that that's the minority, right? We're going to have probably in the neighborhood of 12,000 kids come through our programs this annual year, beginning from June, over the course of this current summer through the spring. I'm guessing somewhere between 12 and 14,000 kids. And the majority of those kids are likely not going to be a student athlete here at Wisconsin, right? Certainly some of them will, and maybe they all aspire to be, but obviously, a high percentage of them won't be. But that's not to say that, many of those kids aren't setting foot on the University of Wisconsin campus for the first time, eating in the dining hall for the first time, maybe staying in the dorm, getting around campus and really checking it out in a way that might make them interested in pursuing a education here beyond their high school days, beyond their athletic days. So I really try to appreciate the holistic approach we take to delivering our youth programming. That not everybody attends for the same reasons, and not all of our sport programs are delivered, camp programs are delivered for the same reasons. And we work with all of our sport programs to sort of meet their needs and their, goals when it comes to their youth programming. As Jackie mentioned, there's a lot of challenges today with youth programming, as you might expect. Understandably so, right? Our number one priority when we have kids on campus is to keep them safe. Obviously, we want them to have an enjoyable experience, but our primary goal in all of our programming is to deliver safe programming. And in so doing, it's important that our programs operate in compliance with a number, many levels of codes and bylaws and guidelines. The state obviously has some state codes with regard to youth programming, which we monitor for compliance with those state codes. UW system has some policies relative to youth protection, as does the university. And that's not to mention the policies that we have within the athletic department. The Big Ten has a lot of youth protection policies, and as does the NCAA, understandably so, given some things that have happened, on various campuses throughout the last, decade or two. So we enjoy working with our programs. We have coaches that are really good at what they do in coaching their sports and teaching skills. And so our task on an annual basis is sort of take the logistics off of the responsibility of our coaches, right? All the behind the scenes stuff, scheduling facilities, working with parking and transportation services on campus, working with our HR folks in the athletic department. In the delivery of our camp programming, I think I mentioned, we expect 12 to 14,000 participants. Well, in order to deliver the type of programming, that we're looking at with those numbers, we hire somewhere in the neighborhood of 700 to 800 staff every year. So you can imagine the HR component that goes into, screening and training all of our staff, again, to help provide safe programming. We work very closely with our human resources department here in the athletic department. That's a very great partnership. They do a great job supporting our operation and our programs. But that's a really big component of what we do. And I would add that there's not many departments with not many units within the athletic department that aren't touched, in one way or another by our athletic camp programming. Obviously, we deliver these programs within our athletic facilities, as well as some other facilities on campus, rec well facilities and things like that. But that's an added burden to our facilities folks that are cleaning our facilities and mowing and painting and lining and all those types of things. So we're cognizant of that. A number of our marketing folks and communications folk help us get word out about our camp offerings and make sure people out in the public are aware of what we offer. So a lot of that information can be found on site at uwcamps.com. If you go to www.uwcamps.com, that's a centralized website that we use to market and promote all of our youth programs, all of our camps. People can register through that site, and it's account-based system, have multiple campers, multiple participants on that one account, and get their kids registered for our camp. So all of our information can always be found there. We work closely with our finance office. Obviously, there's a financial component. We take some revenue in, we pay some bills, things like that. So there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of people in the athletic department that work together to put these programs on. And at the end of the day, as long as we're reaching these kids, again, getting them in our facilities, our coaches have a great time with it. For a lot of our camps, one question we get asked often is, do our student athletes, are our student athletes involved in the delivery of the programming, right? When kids come to the field house for volleyball camp or come to the Cole Center for basketball camp, we have a camp taking place currently out at the soccer fields, out at University Bay Fields with our soccer program, our men's soccer program. So when kids come, while it's not guaranteed, we can't tell you, if you come to our camp, you're going to see, every star athlete that you're looking to cross paths with. But I would say that many of our student athletes are heavily engaged in the delivery of our camp programming. I think generally speaking, our customers find that when they get to camp and they're in our facilities and their kids put in a group and they're getting some instruction, oftentimes our student athletes, the kids they see on TV or the kids they see under the lights in Camp Randall or out at Goodman softball complex, competing for Big Ten championships. Those are oftentimes the kids, the student athletes that are out in the trenches kind of helping deliver that camp programming. So that's another, I think, very positive aspect of our camps is the hands-on approach of our student athletes. So we're in the middle of our summer now. We're getting towards the end of it. A high volume of our camp programming takes place in the summer, which is great. It creates a pretty busy time of year for me and my staff, which is a lot of fun. And then once the fall hits, people tend to think that maybe camp season is over, and I would say that it's very much not over. It changes a little bit, right? We're not putting kids in dorms, and we're not putting kids in dining halls. Those are obviously occupied with campus students, but we have tremendous indoor facilities. Goodman Indoor Training Center is fantastic. We do a bunch of softball camps in there in the winter. The McLean Indoor Turf Facility is a nice large facility that's used quite a bit for obviously our varsity sports programs, but in the evenings and weekends, we find some gaps in the schedule to deliver some soccer programming and some softball programming, some track programming over the course of the winter. The Nick facility has a tremendous pool. The aquatic center over there is state of the art. It's one of the best aquatic centers in the country. And so we do a number of swim camps all winter. We'll do a number of diving clinics all winter over there. Sort of a hidden gem that we have in terms of an indoor training facility is the University Ridge practice facility, golf training facility. Out at University Ridge Golf Course, there's an indoor space out there that allows you to work on your short game, work on your putting. We have bays that kids can hit out of all winter, temperature controlled bays, a simulator that's out there that we use for instruction. So we have a large number. I know we're in Wisconsin, and I know we can't be outdoors year round, but we have a large number of indoor facilities, and we do a lot of our camp programming throughout the year as well. So while we ramp down a little bit and the nature of our programming changes, like I said, there's no residential programming, but we do a large amount of evening and weekend programming from September through May before we ramp back up in the summer. And I would make note here, if anybody's listening here and thinking about signing their kids up for any of our camps, I would hop on our website, pay attention to when those camps go live, and try to get in early. We had like I said, we'll be in the neighborhood of 12 to 14,000 kids participating in our programs. I think at the completion of this summer, we'll probably have maybe about 400 or 500 kids that landed on wait lists for various sport programs that we just ultimately weren't going to have room for based on, staffing capacities or number of beds, court spaces, things like that. So a lot of our camps do reach maximum capacity. And so if you're interested and you see information updated on our website and you're considering registering, I would encourage people to jump in early because our camps are well attended. We get a lot of kids. They reach capacity quick. And then, we take as many kids as we can. We try to manage schedules, put kids in wave scheduling systems to get more people through our doors. But at the end of the day, we only have room for so many. So just a plug there to get registered early if you're thinking about it. So again, just to reiterate, I feel like I have the best job in the world. We get a lot of kids through our doors. We get a lot of feedback about the level of enjoyment for our camps. I think our coaches do a fantastic job engaging with kids and teaching fundamental skills, as long as the other things that go along with participation in sport, right? Teamwork and work ethic. And kids tend to come here. And one thing that happens a lot is we get emails about asking, kids to be put in groups with their friends or their neighbors or their school buddies. And to some extent, we try to do that. But at the same time, our camps are a great opportunity to let your buddy be on a different team, or your neighborhood friend be on a different team. Let her go meet some other kids, and you go meet some other kids. And our camps provide a tremendous opportunity for growth socially when it comes to just getting outside your comfort zone. Playing a sport with kids you've never played with. Operating in a dorm at night and hanging out in the lobby of the dorm, meeting kids and things like that. So there's a huge social component as well. So again, just all the benefits that come from sport generally, I get to see play out on a day-to-day basis in our youth sport programs. And a lot of credit to that goes to our coaches, our sport programs, our head coaches and assistant coaches, as well as all the graduate assistants and student athletes that work our camp. It's really a great way to connect the resources we have in the athletic department to the greater Madison community and beyond. Our Badger Sports Camp programming is something we're very proud of. We look forward to continuing for years to come. And if you're thinking about taking advantage of it, check us out again, www.uwcamps.com. You should be able to find all the information you need. There's an email address on there. If you need to contact us with any questions, badgercamps@athletics.wis.edu. We have a staff that's ready to answer your questions, help you get registered, and just at the end of the day, deliver great camp programming. So we appreciate your time listening to us today. If you have any questions about Badger Camps, check us out online.